What's going on, guys? Jake here with Uncommon EDC, and today I'm checking out the Blackfox Panchenko Bean Gen 2. This is a Serge Panchenko design by Blackfox, which is kind of related to Fox in a similar way that Civivi is to Wii. The big difference here is Fox, I believe, is made in Italy, and these are made in China, whereas both Wii and Civivi are both made in China. But because this is made in China, they were able to get it down to, this was $44.75. There's a few different models. You can get kind of a stainless steel stonewash model and a zebra wood model, and they're both within $2 or $3 of this, so not a lot of price difference there. But this is a really cool little knife and has had quite a bit of pocket time, and it's held up pretty well, I'd say. You see a little bit of wear and tear on the hardware and on the back side, and a little bit on the blade as well. So a little bit, but it's held up pretty well considering how often I used to hold this when I'd go into the office. This was a pretty common fifth pocket carry for me. Just a nice little unassuming blade. It's a traditional knife, no locking mechanism, just slip joint. On bearings, I believe, actually. So it has a nice smooth action. I'm not able to flip it out, but I'd imagine someone who's better at that might be able to. But it has this nice kind of thumb hole opening instead of the typical nail nick that you might get with a slip joint. And that works really well for kind of a one-handed rollout for me. Again, I've seen people flick this out. I'm not able to do it. I don't know if my hands are too big or my thumb's too thick. I don't know. But I really like the design of this, and he's kind of known for his like compact designs. This is very minimal, you know, the blade doesn't stick out at all from the frame. There's a G10 scale on this side and then that stainless steel on the back side. And you can see the Serge Panchenko logo there. And yeah, so typically slip joints, a lot of them are kind of nail nick. You're seeing a lot more different varieties nowadays, but I really prefer this thumb hole, and it works nicely with this little cutout. It almost looks as if it's a liner lock, but it's definitely not. If you see on this side, you can see kind of this piece of metal here. I believe that's kind of where the detent is holding the knife in place when it's closed and open. So it's a 440C kind of sheepsfoot, small blade. I believe the entire blade measures out to 2.125, but the cutting surface is only 1.875. And because this is a slip joint with no lock, this is legal almost everywhere knives are carried. Obviously, look up your own local knife laws, but for the most part, anywhere that has kind of knife restrictions, this is going to fall under most of those restrictions, both in length, locking mechanism, opening mechanism. So you shouldn't run into a lot of problems there. On the back side, it does have a right hand tip up pocket clip. It is not reversible, and I also don't love the kind of billboarding on there. I don't know why I hadn't really thought of it previously, but I could probably just take that off. I never ever carry this with a pocket clip anyway. This is always a fifth pocket carry for me, so I definitely could get away with taking that off. So it's not such a big deal that it's not reversible, and also it makes sense that it's not reversible, just kind of the format of the knife. I don't think they make a left-handed version, unfortunately, so it's not super left-hand friendly, although I'm sure you could kind of slow roll it out with your index finger instead of your thumb. And you can get by with it if you're left-handed, but as far as I know, there is no left-handed version. But yeah, so this is removable. It's also not a deep carry pocket clip if you care about that. I can probably get this slid onto here just so you can kind of see what would be sticking out of the pocket. So as you can see, it's quite a bit sticking out of the pocket, and that black box is like all over outside the pocket. Wouldn't be so bad, I guess, without that. You'd see the SP logo, which is really nice. But it does stick out quite a bit. But again, this is more for me, just kind of a fifth pocket carry, not something that that I would carry with a pocket clip anyway. So overall, it comes out to 5.125 inches, and it only weighs 2.16 ounces. So this handle is just exactly 3 inches. As far as comparable knives, the one that I have that's very comparable and has been featured on the channel before is the ProTech Rent 5. And so these are very similar, almost exact in overall length. And the ProTech has a 1.9-inch blade. This one has a little bit less cutting surface because it does have that large kind of sharpening choil. This one has it as well, but it's not as dramatic. It kind of goes into the handle. So they're almost exactly the same lengthwise, so very comparable. Again, this one's going to have just a slight bit less cutting surface, just kind of because of the blade shape and that sharpening choil again. But a really nice size for me, for office carry. It was one that you can kind of pull out and not worry about intimidating people. Even though it still has that kind of like black tactical look because it's all black, you might be able to get away from that with the zebra wood variant of this, which looks more like a traditional pocket knife. But yeah, that's kind of one of the things I really like about this. Is a very like modern slip joint knife, which is really nice, and the fact that it can be rolled out with one hand. And the detent's not super strong, but I've never had any issues with it kind of closing up on me unexpectedly. So obviously use the same kind of precautions you'd use with any other slip joint. But I haven't had any issues at all with that. Overall, I really enjoy this knife. It's one that has gotten, like I said, a lot of pocket time. I've probably carried this a good 150, 200 days, and it's held up very well. I cleaned it up a little bit before shooting the video. It did have quite a bit of just like lint buildup and whatnot in there, but still cleans up nicely, I'd say, for what it is. And it's really nice that it's kind of within that budget. It's not always, Fox knives aren't always, they can get a little bit up there in price, but again, this is made in China. If you don't mind that, you can get this for only $44.75. I think there are some, the Gen 1, some more expensive variants of this, although I haven't handled any of those, so I can't speak on the quality or differences of those. And it also reminds me a little bit, I think Boker has one called like the Lancer or Lancet maybe, and it's also a Panchenko design, and kind of a similar feel to me. A little bit different, a little bit larger, and kind of more square, I think. But very similar design. And he makes a lot of really cool, like I said, compact designs, not like exclusively, but he has like the dog tag ones and the coin ones, which are all really cool and have been copied quite a bit. So really kind of a pioneer of those like fun size knives. But let me know what you think of this. I had a request to make a video about this one specifically. I had it in the alpaca hub pouch video, just kind of shown for size comparisons, and someone had asked if I can make a quick video of this, which I had planned on doing anyway, but was pretty far down my list just because I have a lot of newer knives that I need to take a look at. But you know, I am still a smaller channel, so if you see knives that you know I have and you want to take a closer look at them, definitely let me know. I'm happy to kind of move them up the list. You know, I have a list of videos that I want to make and some that are pre-recorded and scheduled, so if I do get those type of requests, I will definitely take that into account. Another really nice thing is just kind of this chamfering. I recently got the Wesson Allman, I think it was, and the inner frame isn't chamfered at all. It's like a G10 handle, which is pretty normal actually, but it's very sharp on the flipper tab, so I took like a chunk of skin off the front of my finger. So these have really nice smooth edges, which I guess I really hadn't noticed until after taking that chunk off the tip of my finger, which didn't like bleed or anything. It just like the skin was starting to peel because I was flipping it so often and just kind of tinkering with it on the couch. But yeah, overall a really great knife. Let me know what you think of it. If you have any other Blackfoxes, I have some Fox knives, but this is the only Blackfox in my collection, and really great kind of fit and finish, really well put together. I've had no issues with it whatsoever, so I'd definitely be interested in checking out some other models if anyone has recommendations. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. Definitely be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. As I always say, it helps the channel a ton. But yeah, I hope everyone has a great one. Thanks for watching.